Hi, Peter. Hi, Thompson. How you guys doing? Peter, how you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Peter. Thompson, are you there?
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Fine, sir.
That's good. That's good. Thompson, I will say it has been an excellent time with you, and I would like you to show us the way of types of CSX selector. So, please, can you give us an idea about it? Thank you so much. Hello, Thompson, are you there? Hello.
Hello, sir. I'm here, sir. I'm coming,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing, Thompson? Hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm doing very fine, sir.
Thank you so much. So proceed.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
CSX selectors are used to find or select HTML elements when you want to style your what's it called your work. CSX selectors can be divided as CSS selector into five categories. Then we have the simple selector, and we have the attribute selector, and we have the pseudo class selector. And let me first start with attribute selector. Attribute selector select element based on an attribute or attribute value. Hello, sir.
I can hear you perfectly. See me nodding my head. I'm so happy.
Oh, okay,
Do you
sir.
want me to clap for you?
And hello, sir.
Okay.
And we have the pseudo class selector.
Okay.
This select element based on a certain state. And the last one I read about was the combinator selector, which is element based on a specific relationship within them.
Mm.
Then I went on to the CSX ID selector. Also, I read about it, and it's used. The ID selector user it uses the ID attribute, and we have um
Hello, Thompson, are you there?
hello, sir.
Yeah, Thompson, are you there? Continue. Continue, Thompson.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, continue.
This network, I'm coming, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfect. Continue. Proceed, please. Proceed, please. Okay. Okay. If that is the case, if we can't hear you properly, then um, Peter, I think you need to present now. Last week, I want to apologize to our viewers. I want to say a sincere apology. Last week, I want to apologize because we were supposed to go live. We could not go live. I want to really apologize to you, our viewers, and please, bear with us. So with that, that's why I titled it Part 8 and Part 9, and part 9, so that we can work together and make sure that we achieve it in a short time, in a short while. Thank you so much, our viewers. Please kindly subscribe, um, give out comments. Oh, I think you guys need to do this. You guys need to work on this. Or you guys are not giving us the quality we want. You know, please criticize on the comments, advise on the comments section. I really appreciate that. And please, thank you so much for viewing. And easily, if you want to contact me, um, part 9, part 10, I'm going to drop my contacts. So if you want to do work into any training um, opportunities or any training, advanced training of different programming languages, um, Destech is a company, is an institute that is technician based, and then we train people on how to write code, and code is from scratch: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, C Sharp, React, you know, a lot of low level programming languages, C, C++. So all those things are what we train for on. So I want you to please and please feel free to contact me, and I'm going to share now on a notepad. So in case you want to contact me, easily you can send um I'm going to open a new, okay, this is a new, I'm going to open a new, this, I'm going to share my screen. That's before Peter shares the screen. So can easily, you want to contact me. So if you want to contact me, you can easily contact me. So with this, so with this, um, I'm going to drop it now. So ignore. So I'm going to write it on this chat. So you can easily contact me. My name is Mr. Israel, Mr. Oyinloye Israel Toby. So my phone number is +44 7823 623 593. So you can easily contact me through my email, israel.oyinloye11@gmail.com, or des.tech@gmail.com. So you can easily contact me through this platform. I'm going to open my notepad also, and to open a new, drop it there, and then with this I'm going to zoom it, zoom out. So I'm going to continue with this one. So Control plus, expand it. So I want to expand it. So in case you want to ask me any question, please feel free to ask me any question. So this is my name, Mr. Oyinloye Israel Toby. This is my phone number. This is my email address, and this is the company email address. Also, we have another email address. You can easily contact us as admin@destech. Yes, destech. Admin@destech.com. Sorry, admin@destech.com. So you can easily contact me here too using this email address. So both of them are the company email address. Like, this is my personal email address. So thank you so much, and you can send me a text message through this platform, and you can WhatsApp me too through this phone number. Thank you so much, and looking forward to more communication from people that want to learn web development, Python, PHP. Thank you so much. So I will stop presenting, and Peter, so the floor is yours. So I will need you to explain what we did last week. You know, we're not live. You need to explain it to me, explain it to Thompson, explain it to everybody, because
Okay, good
yeah,
evening, sir.
yeah. Good evening. Thank you. You can continue.
She was done. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you perfectly. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, you gave us an assignment on process.
Well, I want you to start from where we started. That was last week. What you
Okay,
did and what I introduced, the
okay.
JavaScript, how it was done, the SVG, how it was done. I talked about Arsenal. You
Uh,
remembered last week. I
yes, I
said
remember.
Arsenal losing a match doesn't mean that Arsenal is not good. I said the rates they are playing, those young boys, they are playing in a very advanced way. They are
Yeah,
fast.
yes, sir. Yes,
They
sir.
are
Yes,
working
sir.
as a team, and one goes down, you take him up. One goes down, you take him up. That is what they call bond. So the bond is getting stronger and stronger. So when I saw the one against Man City, I was like, sometimes you say it's luck, but you know that they work for it.
No, they work for it. They work for it because I watched it. They really tried.
Yes. So you can
Okay.
increase Arsenal jerseys now to 1,000.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll present my code. Though my code is much, but I will take my time to explain, sir.
Please feel free. Feel free. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Can we all see my screen?
I can see your screen. I can see two folders. One is new item.
Okay.
One is Peter.
Okay.
Thompson,
Okay.
can you
Let
see
me
that?
open the Thompson.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. This is the Monday. This is the assignment. So let me show my output. Though my code is very lengthy. Let me show it from. Let me. When you look at it, you see till 2:14, and there's a reason why it's lengthy. So let me just show my output first. Then we will start from there. So this is my output. So this is the output. So when you click this cart, it says add Arsenal jersey to your cart. When you now click OK, you get added. So I did some modification to the code. The one we wrote last week was we said, do you want to add Arsenal jersey to it? But I made some little adjustment to mine, which says when you click on the cart will say add Arsenal jersey to your cart. When you now click OK, it says it is added. So same with Chelsea jersey. When you click the cart, it will say add. It says add the Chelsea jersey to your cart. When you click OK, it says added. So, and that's the function of what I did now is the function of the JavaScript. So now let's go back to my code. Let's go back to my lines of code. So I'll start from line 4. The meta cassette. This is what made my page look responsive. That's from line 4 to line 5. Then when you now go to line 6, we have the title, which is the website development part 7. That's what the title is. So now when you now go to number 7, when you go to line 7 of my code, that's why I linked it to CSS. You see link ref, then we have the style sheet, then the index71.css is the name of my css, is the name of my css. That's how I save my css. Then you have index71.css. Then when you now go to line 8, that's where my JavaScript is starting from. It starts from line 8 line 44. So let me explain my code first before I go to JavaScript. Let me explain my HTML codes, then I'll explain my CSS, then I'll now explain my JavaScript. So our line 45 is the okay. Now let me go to line 49. Line 49, we started with section class. Now this class is the parent container, is the parent div. I explained that in our last class, though it use a let me use a mathematical set. if you have a mathematical set, so if you have the math set, the whole of the thing is the math set. So whatsoever is inside is the subset. Inside of a math set, you have a protractor, a compass, a pencil, all that. So that's what line 49 is saying. Now, this line 49 is telling us that this section, this class is housing all other class. We can also use a universal set as an example. When you have a universal set, when you have the universal set, when you have the subset is inside the universal set. So it's the same here from line 49. Line 49 is the parent container, meaning that whatsoever we are doing is inside this parent container. That's just it. So from line 50 now, we now make use of our div. We have different div from line 50 till down. Now, so because the output of this, we just wanted to create something like a Jumia. When you open Jumia, you see that they will list phones side by side, side by side, side by side. So this is just an example of it. So, but this is just making, I just created something that maybe when you enter, you say, okay, I want to buy a jersey. So there's Arsenal jersey, there's Man U jersey, everything inside there. So that's just it. So now my line, let me now start from line 51. That's where I called my image. You see that IMG, the source, the name of my image is arsenal.jpg. So I have my alt, which is the alternative, which is children_images. Normally, when I remove my arsenal.jpg, if I remove it from here and you run this thing, you see that you just have a blank space written on it, children images. That means that's the name of the image. Like last week now, Sheriff made an example of he named his own Sheriff in a car. So he said if you search for Sheriff in a car, it will just bring out the image. That's just what it's about. And we have the class also, which is the image used. So are we following, sir? Hello? Hello?
I'm following
Yeah.
you perfectly, Peter.
Okay.
And
So
also said yes too. So both of us are following you. Thank you.
okay, so on my line 52, I now used a ID. You see that div ID equals to image_div. I used a div. This is a CSX selector, and this an ID selector that I used here. When I open my CSS, you will see when you want to use an ID selector, you start from hash. So it will be hash whatsoever I want to do. But if it is a class selector, it will be dot. It will be full stop of whatsoever I want to do. But if it is an element selector, it will be, I will call the particular thing. I will show everything because I made use of an element selector, I made use of a class selector, and I made use of an ID selector. That's why I have the ID there. So now, let's now go to line 53. It says product name, which is Arsenal. Then the product price, which is £25. That is the jersey is an Arsenal jersey, but the product name is Arsenal. Then the product price, like the price of the product, is £25. So that's how that one went. So that's line 54, 53, 54. So now line 56, well, I'll go back to explain that because that's where our JavaScript came from. I'll go back to explain that. So now line 57 is where we made use of our cards. That's the SVG. When you see it now start from line 50, it goes, that's from line 57. Now it's a bulk of code. We made use of it in our last class. So such that this thing now, when I will show what is, okay, let me show what is reading in my code. This line 57, take note of it. When I run this code, is the one that is showing this cat. Something like a cat. Let me click it. What I clicked that is saying add Arsenal jersey. Is the SVG that brought about it. So that's that. So that's line 57. So line 58. So what I just did, it was just a repetition of what I did from line 49 to line 58. So it was just a repetition. So this from line 49 to line 50 was my, well, let me run it. This line 49 to line is this first Arsenal, where I have the Arsenal jersey, where I have the product name, which is Arsenal. I have the product price, which is £25. Then I have the SVG. The SVG is this cat that is here. So that's that. So the second jersey, I started from line 60. Now, this, I'm not going to use a parent container anymore, because the parent container is only one. You can't have two mat sets. If you have two mat sets, okay, you can't have, how do I explain it? Oh, we already have the mat set already, which is the container. I hope you are following. We already have the mat set, which is the container. So the subsets that are inside, which is the protractor, the pencil, the ruler. So from line 60 now is now the sub things that are inside. So we have the class, which is the image div. We have the image source, which is the Chelsea.jpg. Then still same, I use an ID too. So I did the same too from line 50, from line 60 to line 69. So same. That's how I got the second image. So that's it. So let me go to this after my explain. It says when you are 9, 7, the so I to says so parent container. So I put of it. So a class select the does that we use of host, which is the in content display. Let's be grid. Now take note of number 3, because this number 3 is what made my output in 5 columns. Number 3 says grid template column. It says repeat 5, then 1 fraction. So meaning that let it be in 5 columns. If I change this into 4, it will be in 4 columns. It will not be in 5 columns. If I change it to 3, it will be in 3 columns. So line 4 says grid row gap. I said let the gap between them be 2 rem. So let the padding be 2 rem. So line 8, look at line 8. Is also a class. I called the class saying images used. I said let the width of the image. Now this is the image that I used. The Arsenal jersey, you see the Chelsea jersey. This is where I called it. This is where I called it out that okay, this image I want the width to be 150 pixel. I want the height to be 100 pixel. Then go to line 13. Line 13. Okay, no, go to line 16. And I called on the body. This body now is an element selector. That's what I was explaining, that I made use of a class selector, an element selector, and an ID selector. So on line 16, which is the body, I said let the background color be gray. So when I open it, we will see that the whole of my code is the background color was gray. That's how it came by. Now go to line 19. That was the ID selector. I told us to take note of that. Now when you want to call an ID selector, you use the hashtag. So I use the hashtag image underscore div. So and when I was using the ID selector, it was only for the things that I wrote, things like the product name and the product price. So I called them. I said let their color be what? Yellow. So when we look at the program, you see that the way I wrote my product price, it was yellow. Then when I looked at my SVG, that means my cat, and I called it. I said let the width be 1.8 rem, let the height be 1.8 rem. So this is just my CSS. So let me now go to my Java script so that I will explain my JavaScript. My JavaScript started from line 8. line 8 to line. I closed it in line 44. But this is not the main. This is not the main. This is not the main JavaScript. If I don't do some things now, go to line 56. That's what I want to explain. It says div on click. So now this first subset is talking about the Arsenal jersey. So I said div on click Arsenal icon, meaning if I click Arsenal icon, it should do something. This is how the JavaScript started from line 56. So we have the on click there. We then in quotes, click Arsenal icon, open brackets, then I closed it using semicolon. So let me now go to my JavaScript. So now I'm talking of Arsenal. So look at line 9. Line 9 now says click Arsenal icon. When I now say click an Arsenal icon, I use the function. The function is now calling the click Arsenal icon, which I called in that my first line. So when I say click Arsenal icon, I say alert. So when I open the column brace, it says alert, add Arsenal jersey to your cart. Then now look at line 12. So what this is saying that once I click on the cart, what it should alert us is add Arsenal jersey to your cart. So line 12 is now saying that after I get this output of saying add Arsenal jersey to your cart, then line 12 should be the next line of code, which should say that added. Are we following?
Yes, sir. I'm following, sir.
So that's the JavaScript about. So now let's now look at our Chelsea. What we did for Chelsea. When you now look down. No, let's look at Chelsea was the next. When you look at line 67, that's where the JavaScript is starting from. It says on click Chelsea icon. So now when you now go to line 15, that's line 14. That's where it's starting from. We use the function because in JavaScript we use the function. We use the function with the function which says click Chelsea icon. You should take notes of of where we were coming from. We also use on click Chelsea icon there. So that's where we called it here. That's line 14. So line 15, this is a separate line of code which says document.getElement by ID. So meaning get Chelsea, then click. When you click, like it's saying that when we click, it should alert us with add the Chelsea jersey to your cart. So after it has performed this operation 16, then operation 17 we should say it has been added. So that's just what we did. It was a repetition of code. We did it for PSG icon, did it for Liverpool icon, did it for Barcelona icon. So when I now load this my code, this is what it's brought by. You now see that you have five columns, like I said. You have 5 columns, like I said, and it's having images: Arsenal, Chelsea, PSG, Liverpool, Barca. So can we see that? That's the function of the grid template column that we use. If I change it to 4, we will have 4 columns here. So that's just it. So now let's look at the SVG. That's the JavaScript. So when I click this cart, can you see it says add Arsenal jersey to your cart? Okay, it says added. So that's how I got my code. Though I wanted to modify some things to this code, but I did not really get it. What I wanted to do was that I wanted to say when you click on alert which says add Arsenal jersey to your cart, there should be an icon that will say yes or no. So when you click yes, it should now say added. When you click no, it should say not added. Though I tried to write the code, but I did not get it. I used the if statement, but I did not really get it, sir. So that's my code, sir. So I'm done, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I will say something. It's nice
Oh,
that you're able to give yourself some other tasks ahead.
yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think that's a big one. It's a big one to me. And the way you are able to come up with JavaScript, that shows that it's good. And do you know that using Windows.alert, using alerts, move the alert away. That's line 12.
Okay,
Remove
sir.
window.alert and run your code again.
Okay. Okay, sir. It's the same, sir.
I can't say things. Okay, just go.
Okay.
You're very fast. Do it little by little.
Okay. Can you see, sir?
Yes. So can you say the
Oh,
same thing? So
yes, sir.
alert is a function that is already connected to JavaScript. So with that, it automatically what does is work. So there's another one they call prompt. Read about prompts in
Okay, sir.
JavaScript. So I want you to
Okay,
take it
sir.
step by step because the question you ask is a very nice question. Once I click on the icon, right, it asks you a question. Are you sure you want to do this? So
Yes, sir.
once it has to come with a yes and no button. When that,
Yes, sir.
so there are different kinds of they call it boxes, dialog boxes in JavaScript. So read about
Okay,
prompt, read about
okay,
prompt
okay,
function in
okay, sir.
JavaScript, and read about what do they call it? I know about prompt, and there's another function I can't remember now. But read about the arrow function in JavaScript.
Okay,
Arrow
okay,
function
sir.
in JavaScript. So with that arrow function, it makes your work very fast and very efficient.
Okay, sir.
Thompson, please, I hope you're writing down. Thompson, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Please write down, please. So, then I give you an assignment on crude. So, I hope you read it a little, Thompson.
No, Thompson was not around in
Yeah,
that last
yes,
class, sir.
yes, that's true, that's true, that's true. So, okay, did you read it?
I was not. I was not around.
Don't worry.
Yes,
Even
sir. I read it,
oh,
sir.
Okay, don't. It's not a problem. So you will tell us later. But I just want to tell you a little bit about um the arrow function. So that's nice. So you can now read about three kinds of declaring a variable using the const. The const, they call it const, const. Now after the const, we use the let, let. Then after the let, we use var. So you read about when should I use this three. So read about the three of them. Thompson, please, I'll be expecting a feedback from you. Yeah. Just read about it and just let me know about it. Okay. Read about const, the let, and the var. Const,
Okay, sir.
let, and var. So I'm not saying you must know it to just read about it. Just read about it. I'm not saying you must know it. Thompson, are you with me?
yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So read about it. And I would like to, I'm so happy today that your network is very clear. That's nice. And your name is showing that the read Thompson Precious. That's
Hmm.
good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making that improvement. I'm so happy with that improvement. So now, Peter, can you tell us about the crude process? Thank you so much.
Okay, the crude process. What I read about it is the crude. The C is create, the R is read, the U is update, then the D is delete. So then, okay, I also read that, okay, it consists of three parts. That's the database, the user interface, and the API. So now the database is where data is stored. So the user base is what the user interacts with. So the crate is just like an insert function where you, let's say, okay, you want to create new records. That's just it. It's just like an insert functions where you add new records to a database. Then the read, it allows us to see what we have just created, what we have inputted in the database. That's the read function. Then the update function allows us to modify the existing data and the records in the database. Then the delete, just like we know about delete, it allows us to remove from the database. So that's the so that's the things I can understand about it, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So next week we're going to continue from here. I don't want to make it more bulky or more, because today was bulky. I can assure you of that. So Thompson was able to tell me some things. You two were able to tell me some things. So part 8 and part 9 is a success. So we look forward to part 10, and we're going to implement more of the JavaScript. So thank you so much, Peter. Thank you so much, Thompson, and have a great time. Bye bye.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye bye, sir.
So as I was saying,